our recap music.
Alrighty.
So we can nice
Bwah, bwah,
nice
bwah,
little recap.
bwah.
Righty then.
Ooh.
So, just to give a nice little recap on what we've done in our last session. We departed from Rusty Bucket Bay, and we headed on over to spend the night of partying and merriment over in the nudist colony of Borg. Upon which there was many great times had. There was good music, there was dancing, there were drinks, there were illicit substances. And we have made our way over to the dwarven country of Catbasement, where we are joined by Darkstar the Pirate, our many hirelings, Trissy, and McCarthy, who is our smith. And I remembered that the party wanted to get McCarthy set up with a metalsmith's forge guild and whatnot. And I think that would probably be a good thing that we could start with for today's session.
Alright.
I was Locutus of Vorg.
Locutus, I don't know what that means.
Oh, it's a deep cut Star Trek Next Generation reference. He like Picard is Locutus of Borg, and like I was like so deep in it that I was Locutus of Vorg. Bad joke. It's nerd joke. I'm sorry.
Dude, I only missed it because I am not super deep into Star Trek, but I have played a Star Trek tabletop game with one of Tabala and my mutual friend, which is pretty cool.
That sounds awesome.
Dude, it was excellent. It was super fun. I played as a Vulcan named Ray. That was a really good time.
Awesome.
I think you'd like Star Trek if you watched it. I think it'd really get you.
I think I would too. So, just to remind the party about some of our big macro goals, we wanted to set up a base of operations. We wanted a place for our crew to rest their head, to get trained, have laboratory experiments and discoveries, and a place where adventurers can basically clock in and clock out, so people can switch between their characters and whatnot. All that stuff.
Indeed.
Yeah. I realized that my microphone was muted during everything that I've just said, so I'm going to say it one more time.
Okay.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
Well, shout out to Silent Cry and Berez. What's up?
Yeah, shout out to Silent Cry. Got first. Claiborne, you're right here right now. Thank you. And Berrerez says Dian Dizzle. It's true. We're doing some tabletop RPG fun. So I want to give you guys just a brief overview over what the party is doing and what our current macro goals are. There's a double echo. Hold on.
Spooky.
Did the double echo go away? Are we double echo fixed now? I assume we are. So that means that we actually don't need to restart. I remember that I changed my microphone input device, so we're good. We don't have to go over it again.
Awesome.
But we are in the nation of Catbasement. We're inside of a deep dwarven fortress carved into the sandstone and the gabbro of the earth. And Nasava, who is joining us today, is from Catbasement and was able to secure us lodgings with her friends and her family. So the whole party is taken care of in that way. And we have lots and lots of activities that we can get into today. Just to remind you guys, we had emu races, we had wooden weapon dueling and fighting pits, we had, let's see, we have the library, we have a bazaar available for shopping, lots of religious freedom, including non-denominational churches. We have our tavern by the name of the Dance of Cups, and then we have the Dwarven Tavern by the name of the Mirage.
Hmm.
Lots of fun stuff. So let's get our desert playlist going. Let's see.
Gobi's Valley.
I considered it. I really did consider it.
Here's to being dwarfy.
Cheers, mate. Let's see. We'll get some more music queued up. So, have you three met each other before in our sessions?
I have not introduced myself with either of these characters.
By all means.
All right. My character is Devach. He is a former member of the Thieves Guild, and his ambition in his life is to destroy the Thieves Guild in Merlani. About it, because political reasons.
Damn.
He was there for our first couple sessions.
Yeah, sorry about that. Yeah.
Oh, was I there for any of them?
I think you were a viewer, but you weren't a part yet. He was like a part of our playtest and the follow-up, and then we opened it up to a lot of other participants, just to make sure that I was comfy enough with the system. But I'm good now.
Gotcha. Yeah, you're a gem, Scoot. You're a gem.
Aw, thank you.
Okay, well, if you don't know about Death or Action Brand, I know Nasava. Nasava I've seen before, but Death or Action Brand is a hoary, relatively old, middle-aged individual who's grown tired of the human culture encroachment and the hyper-capitalism of Bronze Bardich and fled to find and found a new place where he could spread the good word of Rondo and hopefully educate a new line of individuals in his way, in a new fort in which the earth is struck.
Nice. Ambitious.
Standing.
Ambitious while being humble. I'm just trying to guide people who might be worth guiding, so the mistakes of Bronze Bardich don't happen again.
Yeah, I agree with that one.
Then I am Nasava Honora. I am a dwarf, originally from Catbasement here. I kind of went out because in Catbasement, I'm a scholar, I work on studying things, and I found information as to where the missing throne ended up. The throne for our king has been stolen, and so I found out information on where it might be, and my whole goal is trying to get that back. Just recently found it's probably inside of the maze of the Blue Medusa.
Oh shoot!
Right. That's right. The party received a little bit of intelligence from the first human that they met inside of the maze. The woman that was all chained up to the ceiling. She said that she had information about that throne, that she knew it was held in, I think it was room 27? Room 27, which is due north from where she was at. Just keep on heading north and you'll find it. And as a reminder, the party does have the painting that is the portal to the maze of the Blue Medusa. So if you guys are ready and willing to enter the maze, I am always prepared to go through it. I've run this maze with 20 different groups as of now. I love it deeply, and you guys are always welcome in.
Awesome.
Natch. But that's the bait, isn't it, Scoot?
Of course. Also, just as a heads up, the first time and the second time that we went in there, I realized when the party exited that the loot was not good enough. I described it as a place that was chock full of loot. It was a very valuable place to go and plunder, and the loot did not reflect what I introduced it as. So I have cranked up the loot tables since then. So it's going to be a lot more profitable to be going there from this point on.
It did seem like it could have been a bit tastier, but hey, I guess we'll see.
Yeah.
In the meantime, we have just arrived at Catbasement and must have our little engagement with the officials.
Right. I know that you guys wanted to talk with King Beanbag, and I'll say that one of the courier dwarves came up to you, would probably come up to Nasava, because Nasava is known around here, and would explain in Dwarven, you know, King Beanbag actually has an opening today at 1 o'clock p.m. So, you guys definitely don't want to be late for that one. And he pats you on the shoulder and hands you the official form inviting you to the King's Chamber, to his throne room.
Of course. And I take it gladly, and I bow and I say, my thanks. We much appreciate it as humble travelers on the road.
He nods and makes his way on out of there.
Around what time of day is it?
It's early. It's like 7:30 a.m.
Okay.
And you guys see flyers depicting an advertisement in Dwarven that says, "Join us for the haiku battle and combat by couplet in the Dance of Cups. All day today." Written on papyrus.
I read this aloud to my party members while stroking my hairy chin. And I say, that sounds like quite the entertaining time, I think.
Yeah, I'll try it out.
You'll try it out and succeed if you have any bit of art to you.
Yeah.
Let's see what you have in yous. I, for one, will wager amongst us that I'll place best out of us all.
Probably. I'm not one to deny dwarf is a ability.
Well, I'm no dwarf, but I was raised amongst them, and so I have the inherited tradition. And I could see why you might be put off. However, what if I were to sweeten the possibilities with the cool 20 silver coins?
I think that's fair.
I offer out my hand to shake on it.
Alright, I shake on it.
Alright, I shake. Well then, to the winner of the spoils.
Indeed.
So, does it, am I one to assume that you guys are headed over there immediately, or is that just on the agenda for today?
I guess
On the agenda.
Right on, right on. So, I'm just thinking about what would be available right now. Oh, right. They mentioned mounted archery. They mentioned a mounted archery competition that they hold every day at sunrise, where
Every day, damn.
And I know that if we had Vorak with us, I know that he was interested in that one, and the player who plays Vorak, I think, said that he was going to join us. Hey, Yogs, what's up? It's good to see you, Yogs.
Get in.
Cheers to that, mate. So yeah, there's the mounted archery available. We're going to talk to Keen Bingbag at 1 o'clock p.m. And there's also the bazaar that's open if you guys want to do any shopping over there.
I'm pretty much good.
I think I'm pretty much good too. I'm like living. I'm a man of my means right now until we have like a full go ahead for our being here.
Completely understood.
But I do think that I would cruise up to the local. I don't remember the different names, but there was one bar that was accessible to dwarves and one that was not. I mean, no, the other way around. There was one that was only accessible to dwarves and one that was not, and I'm going to be looking to head to the one that was accessible to all others.
Sure, that is called the Dance of Cups. And then the dwarf-only establishment is called the Mirage.
Right. Yeah, I'm heading over to the Dancing Cups, and I am going to tie a couple on before we engage in this whole affair.
Sure thing, sure thing. So over in the Dance of Cups, it's a little bit more vacant than before. You see a couple of dwarves hanging out with a small group of human monster hunters. You can tell that they're monster hunters due to their oversized weapons and how they're just completely decked out with claymores and crossbows and extra quivers and large backpacks to contain food and big canteens. It looks like they're planning a long excursion right now. And just as a reference, we're following the typical food and drink rules from the Lamentations of the Flame Princess PDF. However, all these prices are adjusted to be 1.1 priced. So they're 10% more expensive here than anywhere else.
Well, blessedly, we can afford it.
Yeah. Thankfully. Thankfully. So it looks like this morning they're doing tequila sunrise, mimosas, and brandy as their specialty alcohols of the day.
Before I worry about any of that, I make sure I am locking down the stable boys and the stable master to make sure all of our wagons and our mules and our what have you are all taken care of, because we have a wagon train full of materials with us right now, and they all need to be secured. And I'm wise enough to know that that should be seen to.
Sure. Just going back in my memory, I think that all that we have is a cart and one mule. I think that's all that we have right now.
We fit that much value onto that much?
We sold a ton of it. Sold a ton of it when we were back in Rusty Bucket Bay.
Fair enough. Well, alright then. I just make sure that the wagon and bits are secured.
Good stuff. Good stuff. I know that Melantha handles the feed costs through her connections to the party fund. So no worries on that one.
Right, whoever handles... I mean, it's not me. Like, I'm, like, making work for someone else right now, purposefully, because, like, that's what we clerics do. But yes, once that's all done, I'm going to cruise in the front door, you know, humbly, not just, like, kicking the front door in, but, like, you know, making my way in and sidling up to the bar after I take a accounting of the place.
Sure. A curly black-haired dwarf is standing behind the counter, but you can't really tell if it's a man or a woman. Hairy eyebrows, looks like one big caterpillar across their forehead.
It's a drink server. None of these things are important to me about gender.
Yeah.
I give him a nod and I say, "Ho there, Master Dwarf. Is there some finery available that is on special this fine day?"
Well, if you're looking for something cheap, we're trying to get rid of all of our smoked cabbage.
Well, I mean, a fair price for a thing that is due to be gotten rid of is not beyond myself. And for drinks, you wouldn't happen to have some of that there, sunshine that I've heard of, would you?
I'm afraid we don't. You see, listen, I don't make the rules around here. They only serve it over in the Mirage.
I nod, and I pat the air with my hands, and I say, of course, no, you know, no need to be troublesome on my part. I'll just take whatever the house special is then.
Sure. We were expecting the Baron over from Mournhold yesterday, so I told the cooks to cook up a ton of roasted cabbage, but never showed. Who knows why? So we're only gonna charge you 1 copper for each.
I stroke my chin and I say, "You don't say. Expecting. What do you suspect might have gone awry?"
No clue. We serve it on a stick. It's practically burnt to a crisp. We made it to specification. It's not really on the menu anymore, but I don't want to be under the boss's thumb today. Quite a surplus we're dealing with.
Oh, I like crunchy things. I'll have a couple, please.
And this dwarf shouts to the back for some of the roasted cabbage to be brought up. How many were you ordering? 1 for each of your mates?
I turn to the rest of them and I say, "Who's hungry?"
Well, I'll take one.
Yeah, me too.
And Trissy and McCarthy are gonna meekly raise their hands. They haven't said much since we've arrived. So that means 5 copper from you, sir.
It's
And,
maggots, booners. And I
it'll-
flip him a copper and I leave that as tip.
Right on. It'll be served up on an electrum platter, which is a combination of gold and silver. It looks very, very pretty, but also a little bit muddy to your eye as far as the luster of the metal comes off. And it's just a wooden kebab speared right through like a whole head of cabbage. This is maybe a little bit bigger than you were expecting. And they come with a sauce, like an oily sauce that comes with each one of those, kept in a little ceramic dish each, emblazoned with the head of a cat smiling.
Nice.
Very good.
Well, I encourage anyone who is still hungry after the first whole head to dive into the other extra 2 I bought and, yeah, go to town and sipping ales and whatever the whole way. And, yeah.
Trissy is looking at you like, what the hell are you talking about? Extra 2? There's 3 of you and 2 of us. 'Cause she's there with McCarthy.
I got you all one to start with, and if any of you are hungry for more, there's a couple extra.
I can cover my own, thank you, says Trissy, who is obviously very sober at this moment.
I pat the air and I say, it's my pleasure to buy. It'll make everything simpler.
You want to buy me a drink? She says.
I would love to buy you a drink.
Right on. I'm gonna bring up the rules because I don't know the price of these things. I always forget the price of drinks and stuff, and based on what we've done every session, there's quite a decent amount of drinking right now. So a decent drink is 3 copper normally, a good drink is 6, and a rich drink is 15 or more silver. So if we multiply that by 1.1, they're pretty much the same prices regardless. So a decent drink would be 3 and a good drink would be 6.
Alright, I drop 5 silver and I buy everyone here a decent drink with tip.
Awesome. Awesome. So a decent drink would be 3. Ooh, you're a clever man. Clever man. I don't think that has a markup. Yeah, because it'd only be 3.3 copper. Very clever. Very clever. So I'm assuming each drink has like a 1 copper tip added to it.
Absolutely.
Very, very kind of you. Very generous. In just as a cultural note, and maybe Nasava would be able to inform you of this, tipping is not the custom around here. Tipping is like a really, really special thing. In Europa, tipping is, I wouldn't say standard, but it's like kind of expected. Kind of. Around here, it's like, whoa, big stuff. The price is the price. These are dwarves. They're practical people. You want 1 bale of hay, they give you 1 bale of hay, kind of deal.
I have no care. Well, I mean, okay. I do care about the practicality. The practicality is to impress the people that you're rolling up on.
Sure.
And
Understood.
to that end, we are going to grease their palms with extra coin and really flex.
I feel like for a session in Catbasement, it might actually help if I brought up the Catbasement Fortress in Dwarf Fortress and use that as like a stream element. Yo, Firestorm, thank you for the follow.
Firestorm,
Here,
what's up?
Let's bring up Dwarf Fortress so I can show you guys a nice little visual example of what's going on.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ, Firestorm. You just roll because everybody farts? Is that why? You roll to see who broke wind because no one is immune to farting.
I like to set the stage in such an encounter with happening upon a field of beans that the party harvests for their meal in place of rations.
Baked beans made by the party themselves. Alright, so I'm going to load up this Let's see. We need a new source. It would be a games. No, it'd be a window capture. Hold on a second. And we have our Dwarf Fortress window. There we go. We'll
Wasn't
make
there
this
a
little
movie,
smaller.
Field of Beans, that was about that?
Yo, Bev! It's good to see you. It's really good to see you.
What
We
up, Ed?
are going to show... I think that'll work. Beb is one of the OGs from the stream. Like, straight up one of the OGs. Oh,
Hell yeah, Ed.
let's see. So this is not a perfect rendition. However, this is like an in construction version of the Dance of Cups, and the real version in our tabletop RPG is 2 stories tall.
Nice.
Ooh.
But they have animals inside of cages and inside of terrariums, and there's a nice gold floor leading up to the bar. It's currently in progress. But yes, I can hydrate or dihydrate Bed. Thank you.
I see. Where are these stairs leading up at? Like corners of the approaching bar, or?
Yeah, there's like a set. Here, you can use the game to do that. So that'd be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. It's kind of like that, where they're at.
And mind viewers, each square is 4 meters square.
What? I thought each square was 1 meter.
Wait, it might be 2 meters actually. I think. Let me double check. I think it's no, it's 4 meters. I looked this up the other day because I determined that if one were to look at a deploy of the Mississippi River at its widest, I believe that it would be like 61 overworld map deployment squares wide, and each one of those squares is 48 fort level squares wide. Each one of those overworld map squares, and that equated to 2 miles.
I was not aware of these things. I honestly wasn't.
When you look at like real world like area, like a small world is like a pocket dimension, you know?
Yeah. In a way. So in this area right here, they were talking about setting up a haiku battle and combat by couplet, which is a type of bardic duel of words and wit. But it does not mention it doesn't mention like a cash prize or anything like that. Seems like that's up to the individual.
I need no cash motivation to participate in such a display.
Perfect.
Yes, I'm definitely one to just jump in to whatever's going on here because I want to incorporate myself into the atmosphere of the place.
Perfect. There's a very skinny human, just a skinny white lad in a very tan-skinned region who is first up to go. And I want to ask you, are you involved in the combat by couplet, or are you involved in the haiku battle? You could do both, but which one are we doing first?
Both, but I don't know, which one do you feel like doing first? I'll participate just for the hell of it.
Honestly, I can do either. This is literally going to be like a you versus me person type deal.
All right,
Which would be interesting.
Let's start with couplet.
Couplet, right on. So the first topic that they dig out of a straw hat is you must insult your opponent. And just to give you a little bit of ammunition to use against him, he's really skinny, he's really pale, he does not have a lot of muscle mass to him. He's short for a human, obviously not born and raised in these areas, and he could definitely benefit from gaining some weight.
I see. Thou profitest that thou dost reside amongst walls, O waif, for a prominent breeze would makest thou unsafe.
Oh, good shit. That one has like dwarves like pounding their tables. This is the general standard of approval. It's kind of like snapping, but they pound on their tables to make percussion. And you notice that the skinny white bard is starting to sweat a little bit.
It was unaccented. Allow me to do that better. It is fortunate that thou resideth behind walls, O waif. 'Tis unfortunate, for a strong breeze would make thee unsafe.
Thank you. So he's like sitting there and he's thinking, and like the longer that he's sitting there and thinking, he starts to shake, and he says, I think that if I used my nose to get a smell, the reek would reek high as hell. And quieter pounding resounds through the tavern. So you're up 1-0 right now in the combat by couplet, and you got to win by a 2 out of 3 in this case. So because you won the last round, he has to go first for this one. So he sits there and he's kind of kicking dust under him, trying to think real hard, and he says,
I puff my pipe.
he kind of stammers to get started and says, you come across as a bit of a drunk, and maybe you don't bathe, so I declare I smell a funk. And no one is beating on the tables, and you hear someone in the back shout, learn how to count syllables, ya fuck! And that causes laughter to erupt through the tavern, which has gotten a bit more popular since starting the combat by couplet.
I puff on my pipe with a smile on my face, and I say, 'Tis unfortunate so confident ye be. Unfortunately, a smell emits from thee, and I point at him with the pipe.
Damn.
No, that's a good one. That's a good one. The dwarves are very pleased by this. You hear laughs, you hear cheers. People are sipping on their drinks and definitely eating that shit up. And they declare that Death or Action brand is the winner of this morning's combat by couplet against this unknown human who came to these lands thinking he could step, but he couldn't. Comments float around about how humans just love to fight, and this is probably the most good that dwarves could get out of their fighting.
I gladly raise a cup to my opponent and smile and nod respectfully. Raise it to my audience, and sip it as well.
There's a dwarf who is just kind of speaking, low to the bartender, and comes on over to you with a green glass goblet in hand, and this red-haired, ponytailed dwarf says, "This is for you. That was good shit, mate," and just like plants it firmly in your chest, and that's yours to keep.
I take it and I accept it, and I hold it close, and I bow and I say, "My thanks, Master Dwarf. The accolades of thy people are none to be sniffed at." And I bow once again.
And the dwarf says, "Well, you see, I got you a special edition version. This one has microcline cabochons all around the outer rim, and this is my way of saying good luck, because if you're interested in the haiku battle, you'll have to face against me."
I look at it, raise it to the light, empty what's left of my other drink into that drink, and down the whole thing and go, and I say, "You'll find other action, friend. No slouch."
I will be going first this time. And the dwarf, like, proudly stands up on a chair and then stands up on the table, which wobbles a little bit, puts a fist on his chest and says, "You see some harlots. They are caught in a windstorm. Call it Hornado." And bows. Takes a few steps down. Tons of dwarves around are laughing at this and stomping their feet and pounding on the table. A bit louder than in the entirety of the couplet combat, except for that last one you delivered. That's the biggest reaction you've gotten yet.
I see. Well, I finish my drink, mull it over, and I stand forth, and I say, "I leave behind vulgarities for this one. Instead, I speak in honor of Catbasement itself. A noble embarkment, a place a cat might dwell. Well, I, for one, am pleased."
Just as a GM's note, the very first section of that had 6 syllables, but if you remove the well in the third part of that, it worked out. But still, the first had 6, so you get a couple of boos. A couple of boos in the beginning. There's one dwarf pounding who clearly doesn't know how to count. And
I suddenly realized it and cursed myself and order another drink.
Honestly, that was not bad. That was not bad. So the other dwarf won that round, so that means that you must go first on the second round.
All right. I turn and I mull and I go and I grab another drink for the bar.
A small group of cats have entered into the tavern, and they have lined up against the wall. It's almost like they're watching from the side. They hop up onto the green glass tables and are licking and preening themselves as they watch the human and the dwarf have a showdown of bardic tongues.
I consider and crack open a number. And I say, in my mental, perhaps I should go on the attack. Many is the flea that dwells in unkempt noble beard. However, some may yet feed.
Dwarves in the background say, "Too many syllables! Disqualify him!" And the other dwarf just throws his head back and laughs and gets down on his hands and knees and says, "Boy, listen close. I'm going to eat a bowl of alphabet soup and shit a haiku." The place just erupts. Just absolutely erupts. And they declare the dwarf bard the winner in this exchange. And the dwarf hops off of the table, grabs your hand, and you feel the respect in the gesture, looks you in the eye and says, "I really do appreciate you giving her a try. Don't feel too bad. I'm the champion around here, and I had to put you in your place."
I shake and I say, "I'll be here a while. There may be another opportunity when I'm less in me cups."
"Please, let me buy you a White Lotus wine. On me."
I look taken aback and I say, "Well, last time I was served that was by some strange bird people, but I might have a taste yet."
And he goes up to the bar and he orders you a tall glass of your own full of White Lotus wine and gestures you to like put it up on the counter so that it may be filled.
I do so.
Right on. And he dishes out the silver. This is a pretty valuable drink around here that causes hallucinations for 4 hours after the first hour of consumption. And he pats you on the back and says, "Maybe next time."
I nod and I say, well, couplets are more my thing. Is too much thinking comes with the old haiku once you've been in your cups a bit.
Right on.
But say, what brings a dwarf like yourself here to this place? How come ye to Catbasement?
Well, I was born here. You know, I more or less flunked out of school, didn't want to do that army shit. So I decided I would develop a silver tongue with the arts, with the ladies, tried politics, not really for me. So I'm a bard around here, and please don't underestimate me in terms of the throat, the mouth, and the tongue. I didn't mean to embarrass you. I just needed to show you who was boss.
I chuckle and I say, I am but a mere cleric. It is not my place to be spinning tales and words together. Nay. If an injured individual were to drag themselves in these doors right here, it'd fall to me to be perfect at that, rather than my words,
He pounds you in the chest and says, "No shit, you're a cleric of Brondo. You don't need to tell me. I can tell just by looking at you."
I nod and I say, it would be far from me to conceal the fact from a dwarf.
So here's my question. He regards the whole party on this one. If Brondo is so all-powerful and controls all magic in the universe, then why isn't everyone more handsome?
You fail to understand that ugliness is a form of magic as well. And I thumb my nose.
Oh my god. He says, "I think I'm gonna like you quite a bit. How long are you here? You just visiting?"
We're visiting for the moment. We're, fixing to, set out from here apart to some other place. We're not sure yet, but for the moment, we're residents. It falls to the king, of course, to decide that, but for the moment, we're visiting.
Well, hey, if you ever see me around, just know that if my table has an empty seat, you're more than welcome. What's your name?
Oh, me name be, Death or Action, Brandon. What be thine? I don't think I got it.
Oh, you can call me Penscript.
Penscript, well, pleasure to meet you there, Penscript.
And when you reach your hand out, he just, like, grabs 2 of your fingers and, like, shakes them delicately.
Yeah, of course. And, I say, until next we cross verbal swords, then.
He says, "I like that. I like that quite a bit. You know, I'm here every day. But I try not to do more than one of these battles a day, because, you know, I don't want to run out of material."
Of course. Well, I mean, it's, you might know better than some others. If you were a non-dwarf, how might one earn your way into the Dwarven Tavern?
His happy expression goes a little bit sour. He strokes his beard, and he says, "Why, with a royal pardon, I would say. That would have to come straight from King Beanbag himself, as unlikely as it may be."
I nod and I say, don't get me wrong, Master Dwarf. I don't think myself accountable or capable or any such thing for such things, but it's just purely a matter of curiosity. You see, a man goes around serving a brown dough, and they want to be among those that most honor brown dough. You know how it goes.
Oh, yes, I completely understand, but Have you been looking out for your muscular friend over here? He points over at Devach, who has a physique about him. Didn't you tell him that there's wooden weapon dueling just a few floors above this?
I'm a little rusty when it comes to performances in front of others.
It sounds like you're all the more reason to go and try at it, you know? It's better now than when it actually matters,
Yeah, I guess.
What is that
You know,
steely gaze about you? I feel like you know something that I should know.
Whenever you do something in front of a crowd, that's when it always fails. Yeah.
Maybe you and I should talk later. I feel like you're the kind of person that has good stories about them. I'd like to get to know you better.
Oh, okay.
So, I want to ask the party, what do you guys want to do next? We have mounted archery, we have the bazaar, we have King Beanbag in hours from now, and we have the wooden weapon dueling. Oh, and we have the emu races happening today.
Oh, emu races.
Yeah,
How Australian.
it's like a betting thing. People bet on these, kind of like a horse race.
I bet.
See who wins. Yeah, wink, wink, nudge, nudge. Better it is.
Yeah.
So you guys have options.
All right. Well, whenever the emu races is open, I'm going to that.
It's open as soon as the plot allows it. So if you guys want to head there next, it's open.
Cool with going there.
Sweet.
I would delight in it.
I thought that I had odds like ready to go on this. Please excuse me while I gather these. I'm sorry. I thought that I had it all prepared, but no, I do have it all prepared. I do have it all prepared.
I was looking forward to making a shitload of money off your bad odds.
Yeah, right. Okay, so I'm gonna set up my secondary camera and show you guys what we got available to us.
Yeah.
Stand by. Need to change a few things because we are changing scenes.
No, bye, kitty.
Yep, no kitty, I'm sorry. Alright, so essentially these are held up at the surface of Catbasement, and just so I can show those that don't know about the surface of Catbasement, they're held more or less in an area like this over here. And there are 3 phases to the race, just so you guys understand mechanically how it's going to go. And we have bets that we can place on the racers. So let me situate this a little bit better.
Uh-oh.
There we go. So we have several mongoose, and they have different odds, which also include different payouts. So obviously the ones that are not slated to win are going to get you a better payout, and the ones that are slated to win will have a better payout. You could bet on as many or as few of them as you would like. And you have a limit of 1 copper all the way up to 800 silver.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just to read them out for the audience, we have Mongoose Mel, who is our resident champion. And I've listed them out from like the best emu performance-wise all the way down to the worst. So we've got Mongoose Mel as our reigning champion. Killer always engages in close races with Mongoose Mel, followed by Garuda and Atir. fair wins with a perfect 1-to-1 ratio. We have Muffin, Bronze, Borscht, and Satan.
Satan, the clear winner.
Yeah, right. Not much so. And I use dice to determine these if you're trying to work odds to your favor. There are dice that impact this. And basically their odds of winning are going to factor into how much you get out of it. So like if Mongoose Mel wins, you get a seventh of what you put into it. If Satan wins, you get 7 times what you put into it. So you are more than able to bet on different placings of them.
Yeah. Well, 200 on Muffin.
You're saying 200 on Muffin. Let me write down your
200 silver, I should
your
say.
bets. Wow. All right. So we have Devach. So it's 200 on Muffin. And Muffin has a 1-to-2. Okay. So if you win, you get double what you put in, essentially.
Nice.
How much of the party's money can I actually gamble in one go? Because Deather kind of has a problem.
I think that the answer is 800 because that's the limit, but you may have to answer to the party after gambling away their looted goods.
Okay, 800. Sounds good. I got a spread that I'm going to bet. So, I think I'm going to do a forward-leaning spread. I'm going to do 200 on Killer. Or 200 on Garuka.
So Garuda will have
Garuda.
200.
100 on a tier.
Give me just 1 second. I gotta catch up on this. So Garuda has a 3-to-1. And you had how much on a tier?
100.
Okay.
And I'm gonna skip 4 wins, and then I'm going to shit, what was it? I bet 400 so far, right?
Yeah, 300 so far.
300.
200
Okay,
Garuda,
so-
100 Atir.
Alright, I changed my mind. I'm gonna be back leaning. 200 on Muffin, 200 on Bronze, and 100 on Borscht.
So 200 on Muffin. How much on Bronze?
200.
200 on Bronze.
And 100 on Borscht.
Okay.
I got a spread going.
Cool. And we got Bronze is a 1-to-3. And then Borscht is a 1-to-5. Okay.
Alright, but how, like, the question is, can I bet the place? Can I bet, like,
Yes, but here's the weird thing about pseudo random number generation. Basically, so you have to trust me a little bit on this. Basically, I roll dice to determine outcomes based on the odds. So there's a chance that you could get all of these right, essentially. And as far as the fiction goes, I'm the one who, like, determines what you're betting on. So, like, let's say, let's say, for example, that Devach is correct, and whatever he bets on Muffin is right. It could be a bet on anything. It could be like, Muffin is going to buck her rider. It could be like, Muffin is going to attack another emu. It could be Muffin is going to get last place. Things like that.
okay, well, this makes me more confident in my bets than ever. I love it.
Yes. It's not like only the winner gets payout. kind of stuff, because then if like someone has a 5-in-1 chance and someone else has like a 7-in-1 chance, like if I roll the dice and then we have 2 winners, then it messes up the whole system. So I know it's kind of immersion breaking for this, but it works out with the statistics of what you're betting on.
I like it. I mean, it's like I'm not concentrating any one bet in any one place as a better anyhow, so that's fine.
So Nasaba, you can bet as little as 1 copper. I mean, you could bet as little as 0 copper, but I do want to know if you want to place any bets.
I'll make some bets.
All right, let's hear it.
Let's see. I don't have much money, so let's go. Let's go 2 silver on fair wins.
Did you say 2?
Yes.
Just
For
to
fair
give you a heads up, I mean, Deather dipped into party funds to do this, which may land him in hot water if things go badly. But I am opening it up because you guys are a morally gray party. You're a bunch of treasure hunters, and I mean, they'd be really happy if you made it big off of this. So I'm just giving you the opportunity to make bigger bets.
Deather has some areas in which he's not fully wise.
I don't like using party funds for this.
Totally fine with me. Totally fine. So you said 2 silver on whom?
Fair wins.
Cool.
5 silver on Garuda.
Okay.
And then let's go 10 silver on Muffin in honor of this kitty right here, Muffins.
No way.
No.
No
Muffins.
fucking way. There's
So-
no way. Oh my
Yep, that's her.
gosh.
So there's 10 on Muffins here.
Outstanding. I'm glad that all of you have bet on Muffin. It makes me happy. I just need to look at my odd. Basically, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna look at the sheet that I used to generate these odds. I'm gonna roll some dice, determine what you guys win, and then there's gonna be 3 phases of the race. We're gonna put on some music, and I'm gonna describe what happens in the race.
Nice. I like this. I love a good gambling opportunity. But I mean, I am a trader, and which isn't necessarily gambling, but I do appreciate it.
Okay, let's see. So we're gonna roll all of these. So 1, 2. Okay. Okay.
Better take this opportunity to urinate while I can.
I agree. I gotta do some mad die rolling off camera. Okay, gotta do some math too. Okay. Not too. Wow. Wow. I know that doesn't tell you much, but wow.
Good wow or bad wow?
Who knows? Who knows? We'll know when the race is over. But I do want everyone to subtract the silver that they have spent right now.
Yeah.
And I will tell you what you guys win.
Awesome.
Or lose. Mm-hmm.
Boy, howdy, we're back.
Oh yeah.
Right.
I'm about to spend some channel points in a sec here.
Oh boy. Oh boy. I don't know what you're gonna spend it on. So now I need to write out the results of the race. So how many do we have? We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
Doesn't have to be immediately in the wake of the race, but eventually.
I have specific race music that I'm using. Let me check
Yeah,
out
sure.
your request just to see what it is. I can give it a try.
It's the weird, unsettling one I showed you before. I just like it and want to listen to it right now, so I'm going to forcefully incorporate it.
We can do that. So
If
stand
you want to do it
by.
straight away, yeah, straight away it might be better, I guess. Caves to Cut music. Love Caves to Cut.
Definitely unsettling.
I'm turning this one up in the headset.
Nice. Okay.
Sadly, Satan didn't get bet on.
Not even once. Not even once. This is hard to write out, I gotta say. There's like some weird math and probability and shit going on here to make sure everything lines up. This is weird. I've never done something like this before. Very unique situation we're in right now.
Consequences of having a mathematician for a dungeon master.
It has to all work out. What's the math I'm doing, Silent Cry? We're making sure that all of the bets and the wagers worked out the way that we needed them to. It's kind of weird because I have to come up with what they were betting on. They set the values. No, we're good, Silent Cry. I got it all figured out. I just got to make sure that everything lines up. Okay, so that is all clear. That is
Yeah,
all
I bet
clear.
a spread, so I decided to make it hard.
That is all clear. Yeah, if you guys bet on like one thing each, it would have been easier, but that's okay. That's okay. This makes it a more interesting return on your investment, or maybe a loss on your investment. Who knows? All
We'll
I
see.
said was wow. All I said was wow.
This track goes so hard.
Okay, so
Gonna grab another beer. BRB.
sure. Making sure all of this is statistically sound. Okay.
And a back.
Sweet. Okay. We are good. All right. So let me grab my race music.
I'm
Is
not
it,
French.
is it Chocobo themed?
No. No, it is not. I did consider it, but it was like, I don't know, a little too happy. I don't know what to say. I don't know what to say.
No, I get it. Although I can appreciate
good.
you considered it.
Yeah, definitely. Okay, so you guys go up to the bookie who has like quills stuck in her hair and a really raspy voice, and she's just like chain smoking tobacco as she's taking in your bets. So just to go down the list, Devach has bet 200 silver on Muffin for shitting during the race.
All right.
Deather has bet on a variety just to cover some of his losses. Bet 200 on Garuda, saying that Garuda is going to commit violence during the race. 100 on Atir for being dead last. Bet 200 on Muffin for winning the whole damn thing. Bet 200 on Bronze for second to last. And bet 100 on Borscht for third to last. So Deather seems to know, in his mind of minds, he's drunk and probably hallucinating at this point, who the last three are. And it's going to be, according to him, Atir in dead last, and Bronze in second to last, and then Borscht for third last. That's what he has declared.
Hallucinating, bro.
Huh?
Hardcore hallucinating, bro.
Yeah. Okay. And Nasava has bet 2 silver on Fair Winds getting first. She bets 5 on Garuda for committing violence. This is something you guys discussed together. And she has bet 10 silver on Muffin for winning the whole damn thing. What kind of racing is this? This is emu racing, Sunbros. And we're about to begin. So, to describe the 3 phases of our race, we have, at the very beginning, they run off in like a 100-meter sprint. Then they run into a trench of water. And this is usually like not a big dissuasion from whoever's in the front. Usually they keep their place, but sometimes this is where the violence occurs between emu. Then there's a hill where it goes up and where it goes down, and this really depends on the endurance and stamina of the individual emu. And then when they're going down the hill, the swiftness of the emu comes into play, and sometimes they trip each other. You know, we have dwarven riders on top of these emu that are controlling what they do. And then in the very final stretch, they curve around a sand dune, and then there's a trench just full of goblin prisoners of war that they run over. And that's the final stretch into the finish line. So, here we go. They're all lined up. We have 9 competitors. Let's see what happens.
Musical interlude. Here we go. Yes. Called it.
So, a loud pop is heard as a sheep bladder filled with water, filled with air, and then popped, signals it's time for the race to start. All of the emu just burst off. It looks like a really, really tight race at the very, very beginning. They're running straight off into the water, and they're plunging through. And it's hilarious watching their heads, like, bobbing as they're going, and you see these little men sitting on the backs of these emu with saddles hooked up to them. It's a really, really entertaining sight. Tons and tons of people are watching this in, there's a lot of viewership for this type of event. They only do it once every week.
Yeah.
People are cheering, people are pumped, and it looks like Mongoose Mel is in the front right now. And we'll roll some dice. Roll some dice. Alright.
Fuck off, Mongoose Mel.
So Mongoose Mel is running through, and immediately Garuda is snipping at Mongoose Mel, which affirms that anyone who was betting on violence from Garuda was fucking right. Garuda is a bloodthirsty son of a bitch. And it looks like Garuda is pulling out in front. So right out of the front, it looks like Garuda is in the front, and it looks like Atir is in dead last, which would mean that Deather is looking pretty good, saying that Atir is in dead last right now. And they're running up the hill right now. Garuda's in the front, Mongoose Mel just right behind. Then suddenly, Fair Winds has caught a second wind. Is just hauling their ass right up the hill, catching up from behind Garuda, and it looks like Fair Winds is just cruising past. Garuda tries to snip at Fair Winds and give it a kick, but in kicking, stumbles a little bit. Does not de-seat the rider, but they're still climbing on up. In that stumble, they run into Mongoose Mel and Atir at the same time, so causing both of them to fall back in the standings. And right at the top, we see Fair Winds at the top, but in a huge display of unsportsmanlike conduct, Fair Winds' rider is flaunting and gloating at the top of the hill, and suddenly Muffin just cruises right on past Fair Winds, just breezing on past. And there's Borscht and Mongoose Mel and Atir right behind. And suddenly, Satan comes up from behind and begins to tumble, unseating their rider. Both of them are rolling down the hill faster than the cautious mongoose are running down the hill. There's a huge pileup, an absolutely huge pileup. There's only one stretch left in the race, which is the Goblin Trench. And it looks like right now, Satan, even though they fell and de-seated their rider, there's no rules against having a rider on the back or not. Looks like Satan's pulling out in front. Then, Muffin is catching up. Catches their feet before any of the other emu, and catches up to Satan right before they get onto the trench of goblins. They're neck and neck right now, and Muffin does not stop, but Muffin takes a shit right onto the goblins. So that's a big fat success from Devach's bet that Muffin would take a shit, and it's right on the goblins. They're pissed. They're absolutely pissed about what's going on. They're all tied down and like writhing back and forth. They're getting bludgeoned and bloodied. Like, goblins are going to die from this experience. straight up. And then the other emu that were caught up in the pileup are standing up. Once again, we have Borscht and Mongoose Mel and Atir neck and neck, hauling ass right now. But it looks like Muffin is in second place right now, with Garuda catching up very, very quickly. Garuda looks like they have broken their ankle on the goblins and has fallen, de-seating their rider. Muffin is pulling out in front. And then Bronze and Fair Winds neck and neck in this race. And Satan falling behind because it looks like a goblin has wriggled free. A goblin is wriggled free of their restraints from the collapsed chest cavity of their shoulder buddy and has latched on with their teeth onto Satan's foot. Satan goes down. No rider, nothing to do. It's just emu versus goblin at this point. Now it's the final stretch going on with Satan still caught up with Killer and Atir stuck in dead last in the goblin pit. Right now, Borscht, Fair Winds, Bronze, Mongoose Mel, Garuda, and Muffin, in that order, are neck and neck, right for the finish. Mongoose Mel was slated to be the winner, but it looks like Muffin is going to take it. Looks like Muffin is going to take it over Garuda. They're neck and neck. Garuda takes the lead. Mongoose Mel takes the lead. Garuda tries to kick off the rider. Tries to rear back and kick the rider off of Mongoose Mel. Stumbles. Muffin takes the lead. Muffin takes first place. Then Garuda. Mongoose Mel immediately after. Then the next pack is Bronze and Fair Winds and Borscht. Then the very last group looks like Satan has dispatched the goblin, plucked out its eyeballs, kicked its brain in, caught sense of what was going on, began hauling ass towards the finish line. Satan pulls ahead of Killer, and Atir is in the very back, slips on the shit that came out of Muffin. What an amazing turn of events. The final placing is first place, Muffin. Second place, Garuda. Third place, Mongoose Mel. Fourth place, Bronze. Fifth place, Fair Winds in the dead center. Sixth place, Borscht. Seventh place, Satan. Eighth place, Killer. Ninth place, Atir. Good God.
Fuck yeah, fuck yeah.
So if you guys are going to collect your winnings, I can list them out all right here. So, Devaj, you win 400 silver compared to the 200 that you put in for Muffin taking a shit. Deather, you win. So we're just gonna do each of these. I can read them all out and I can like give you the
net
total.
Over net.
You want to know like everything?
Give me a net over net.
I can't do that, but I can tell you what you win.
All right, fine.
Okay, I have your total, and here I can open up the calculator. I know you wanted to. I don't know what net over net is. Is it like net wins over net losses or what?
It's like full like net gains versus net loss.
I can tell you what you put in, and I can tell you what you got. How about that?
No, like whatever I gain off of like this is the main thing. Like default notwithstanding, it's like what I gain net over net.
All right, so. You put in 200 on Garuda, and you bet on violence, and for that you won 66.7 back on that one. You bet 100 on Atir, and you said that Atir was going to get dead last, and you were fucking right on that one. So you get 50 back on that. 200 was bet on Muffin. You said that Muffin was going to win, so you got 400 back on that one. And you bet 200 on Bronze. You said that Bronze was going to get second last, but you did not. You did not bet on that. That did not come to pass, so you did not get anything back on that. You bet 100 on Borscht. You said that Borscht was going to get third to last place, and that was not true. So you lost on that one. So it looks like you lost 300, may have lost 50 more. And then 140. Looks like you lost in the realm of like 280 to 300 on that. So you got 800 from your baseline. Like I told you guys to subtract everything that you put in for the bets. You got 800 back, but it was a profit of 516, I think.
Wait, so
Wait,
I
you
did
put-
profit.
I think. Hold on. No, you put 800 into it, but you got 516 back, so you lost 300.
All right,
Yeah, I mixed that up.
Yes.
Yeah. But it was not a huge loss. And then Nasava, you bet 2 on fair wins, and you said that fair wins would win it all. That was not true, so you lost 2 on that. Small numbers are so much easier. You bet 5 on Garuda for violence, and I didn't calculate this, my bad. So you got 1.6 back on that, and you bet 10 on Muffin for getting first place, and you got 20 on that. So your total that you got added is 21.6. So you got 21.6 on there.
Wait, so I lost money on Garuda even though I won?
Yes, because the odds were 3-1.
That's how she goes.
Yep. If you
Wait,
want,
she goes
if you
worse.
want to make money, you have to bet on unlikely winners.
That's why
This is
my,
this is how the
best
house.
bet-
This is why gambling sucks, and this is why the house always wins, kind of thing. Like
Yes.
the house gets your money if the likely scenario comes to pass, and this is how real gambling works.
Interesting.
But I think you made money overall because you put in
7.
You put in 17 and you made 21.6. So you made a profit. And Devach made a huge profit. Devach doubled his money on this.
I feel bad because I was actually considering going all in and being reckless.
You were gonna put in 800 on Muffin?
Oh yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Well,
Well,
you were
hey.
smart. You were smart not to do that. You should never go all in.
Yeah.
No, you did good stuff. You did good stuff.
It would have been
So-
character thing for Devach because gambling is probably a problem he does have. If he
I'll have
lost
to keep
it-
that in mind. Yeah, you'll have to keep that in mind when we run into more situations like this where we can gamble more. This was also my first time ever working with gambling odds and whatnot in a tabletop scenario, and
good.
that was really interesting. That was really interesting
Alright.
seeing like how I have to be the ones that come up with like what you were betting on. It's very strange using dice for this stuff. Yeah, right, Barreras. Oh my god. Yeah. I'm gonna skip to the next song and I'm going to take a quick bathroom break.
I mean, not wrong, I guess. In that case, never mind everything I said. Thank goodness for people who go all in.
Yeah.
Wouldn't be here without you. I don't think anyone won the 1 to 7 odds. It was teased, but it didn't happen. Yes, 807th as predicted. That's why I bet a spread. So I was like, hopefully going to like make up something somewhere. Although I didn't calculate how that spread would be most economically sound, so I just kind of YOLO'd it. So, you know, advice for the future kids, never YOLO it.
Okay, I'm back. So after the race is concluded, there are some goblins that are starting to wriggle free because of that one that bit, the one that bit Satan. So, a squad of copper-clad spear dwarves rush in. They're clad only in mail shirts, leggings, and helms, and they rush out with their copper spears, and they're just skewering each of the goblins, just so there's absolutely no chance of a little
Yeah.
goblin uprising.
And on that note,
Yeah.
I'll be AFK for about 30 minutes, so I'm going to disconnect. I'll be back soon. Sorry.
Sure thing,
Alright,
Drew.
yeah.
See you in a bit.
For sure. Well, I guess that's that too.
Wow. This music
I
is
think-
intense.
Even worse, that was even more grisly than losing money. But I mean, the losing money also sucked, and the party will hate me unless I figure shit out real quick.
Hate you, but they'll be like, why did you gamble our money when you were drunk and high?
Yeah, well, they they might say that. Yeah, I'm exaggerating.
Oh. I'm glad that you guys paid your gambling dues on time. There's bad consequences if you don't. While you're
As in,
checking
like,
out.
Everworld.
There's a seedy dwarf with a hood that comes up and says, you know, if you ever want to bet additional money, there are ways we can overcome that bet maximum. What do you think?
Oh, I'm sorry, Master Dwarf, but going into debt for gambling is not a wise move.
What, you don't want to be rich?
I'd rather make myself rich by more practical means. Don't get me wrong, I don't want to tear you down. I'm not going to say that we might never need your services. But for the moment, gambling's been working against us. So I think we'll make our own fortune until such a time as leveraging our bets makes a bit more sense, you understand?
He puts his hand on your arm and he says, listen, buddy. You could make all the money that you lost back and more. It's just a 50 silver buy-in. What do you have to lose? You could bet in gold.
Oh, I've heard that before, but you see, that's the lack of wisdom that gets people drawn into certain situations. You see, over-leveraging your abilities, particularly when not everyone's around to make decisions about the finances, is an unwise move. And don't get me wrong, I'm not saying that it's not going to be a good idea someday. But at the moment, we just are playing with loose change. We're not looking to go all in,
So he's speaking in Dwarven to you, and he says, lack of wisdom? Are you calling me a Kaganazul? Which means, like, fucking idiot shithead.
I shake my head and I say, no, you're a man of business. Is looking for more people.
I'm in the business of fucking you up right now. I challenge you to a duel.
I straighten up and I say, challenge me to a duel, you say? Well, I can't be turning that down on my honor. I accept.
Well, good. We'll do knives. Knives at high noon. Right here on the sand. Equal footing. No armor.
Knives on the sand. Equal foot, no armor. But is there any tradition that the object that you wield is given to the person who's challenged in this place?
Well, I can tell you a little bit of cultural context. A little cultural context here. Duels are typically a duel to the first wound. Typically. Sometimes duels are to the death. Sometimes duels are to the first dismemberment. And typically, the person who issues the duel is not responsible for determining the weapon and the time and the place and stuff, but he determined all of that stuff. But whoever loses provides the winner a boon.
I'm wondering offhand if it matters. Like, I mean, obviously he knows these things. Then what does it matter if I bother to suggest otherwise? I don't think it does. And I say, I nod and I say, No, I will concede to your requests, Master Dwarf, and I will meet you here upon the appropriate time and place.
Great, I'll see you there, he says.
I bow to him and I say, may Brondo mighten both of our limbs that we might duel appropriately.
And he just walks away from you. Doesn't respond with any holy isms himself. Loses himself in the crowd. Music is way too intense for what we need. Yeah, this is like combat music.
Ooh, this is a good track.
Mm-hmm.
What's from again?
This is from Diablo 2.
Oh yeah, no wonder it awakens things within me.
Yep. So, you have an hour until your duel. What's the party gonna do till then?
I have nothing to... Oh shit, did I have a chance to, No, I didn't. I'm still under the effects of the same blast I cast last time, right?
Right. It is a new day, so if you want to bless, you need to cast it again.
Okay, well then, I will indeed bless myself.
Okay, what does that look like?
I am going to retreat to the place where we, last, shit, where was it that we had laid in our heads?
We were inside, we were hanging out with Nasava's friends and her family down in the standard dwarf dormitories. Not technically like Dwarf Fortress dormitory, but down in the dorms, where everyone lives. They're the 3x3s down here.
Right. Well, I would seclude myself a bit further. I would wander out into the overland to prepare myself, so that I might expose myself to the gods in the world above. And yes, I'm going to be proceeding towards the cleavage as I stand forth with my knot in hand and prepare to bless myself.
There are cats fucking everywhere. They're like playing with a little like clump of hair. There are cats preening themselves, just cats fucking everywhere around here. Go ahead and bless yourself.
I kneel to my deity and bring forth the knotted shot from my waistline and hold it in both hands, cupping it in both my hands, the knot, and holding it up unto the sun. And unto Brondo I say, Brondo, a duel I seek to fight. I pray that you manage to make my knot tight.
And a light sprinkling of rain begins. Very rare to this area. Women, children, family men are rushing outside and hugging and kissing in the rain and dancing around, and tons more people came out than there were initially for the races, and Emu are sipping water from puddles that appear. Everyone is coming out and rejoicing at the sudden rainstorm that has come by, and a holy dwarf of the Golden Order comes up to you and says, "By the gods, you're a cleric, aren't you?"
I acquired a D6 and I will roll my roll. Sadly, I only got a 1 on that one. So I rise from my crouching position. I say, "Oi, be that cleric Brondo, be oi."
Come here. Come here. I'm weak, you see. He motions you in to whisper into your ear.
I crouch closer.
He says in Dwarven, you better be fucking careful performing these goddamn miracles out here, because you're gonna turn our practice into a business. So watch yourself.
I respond in Dwarven. I am directed by my deity. Business means nothing to me.
He says, I better not see some Gorgashoff, which is a dwarven word meaning like mean-spirited foreigner, coming in, bastardizing our faith and using it for monetary gain.
I left Ronsbardish in the first place because humanity was doing that. I respect what you're saying there, Master Dwarf, but it is not my intent. I'm here to uphold Brondo's will, not some bastardization, as you might imply.
Well, maybe you should do what she does, and points over to Nasava and says, go sign up at the local library, become a scholar, and put all this clerical business away. You're making us look bad.
I chuckle and I say, I cannot choose the path that was forged for me by Brondo and Knife, whether you like it or not.
People are outside, like, weeping that there's rain in this area, and that's such a massive and mighty thing that the gods have brought upon them, and they're like, my prayers have been answered, and whatnot.
Any good dwarf would respect Brondo's gifts. Perhaps not even the good ones respect Brondo's gifts, but they should be respected all the same.
He says, well, I'm just glad that we had this talk. All right. And he pats you on the shoulder and says, oh, thank you, weary traveler. Maybe you can come join us at the temples deep in the heart of Catbasement. You are always welcome. And he just kind of wiggles his eyebrows at you.
I'm sure I am.
It may seem weird and antisocial what's gone on in this situation. That is by design. That is intentional. What's happened here?
No, I mean, it wouldn't be the first time I've seen a dwarf that was suspicious of a human that offers Brondo's blessings.
You guys have got like more than 45 minutes until your duel. Is there anything that you want to do?
Not really. I mean, like, I guess I would just hang out in the area where I was challenged and just like, and await the challenge that's coming to me because like I have nothing to fear from victory or loss. Like I'm just gonna be there.
Roll me a spot check.
Check my character sheet. I take it a spot check is a searching check.
Yeah. I thought that spot was a separate thing. Spot and search are different. Maybe.
Maybe in 3.5 or 3.0.
Yeah, definitely. Let me take a look at the real character sheet. The one thing that I don't like about the character sheet I distributed is it's unofficial. It has skills on there that aren't real, and it renames official ones. So I'm gonna look at the real one.
Really?
Yeah, I hate it.
Well, I'm no specialist, so it's going to be probably a 1 regardless.
Probably, but you do have a blessing enabled.
I do, but I would have to choose to spend my 1 point on this, which is not something I want to
Fair enough.
do.
Yeah, we'll do a search check just because I said it a second ago. I don't think that's how it's supposed to go.
All right, rolling. Fail. 6.
Right. Let's get some music on. So, what happens next is the individual that challenged you is with 3 other dwarves. They do not look armed, but they look equally as seedy as the original. And he's already got his knife out. Already has his knife out. Do you have a knife?
Let me double check my character sheet.
Okay. Nasava, do you have a knife in your inventory?
I have an axe.
I don't have a knife.
Hmm.
Wait, let me check my non-encumbering equipment. I don't.
You came to this duel unarmed.
I will ask if I could borrow a kitchen knife from the staff.
Hmm. Hmm. Okay. You could find a dull knife.
Fine, I'll take it.
All right. So you have your knife, and he has his. His definitely looks quite a bit sharper than yours, and it glints off of the sun. Very, very glinty knife he's got, and he throws it between his hands, kind of like throwing it between his hands, right?
Right.
And you've seen your fair share of good fighters in the past, and it doesn't look like this guy is a great fighter. He's got no armor on, and I'm assuming that you have no armor on.
If he doesn't I mean, I have my chainmail and my shield still, but like if he's wearing no armor, I'm wearing no armor.
Great, great. Those were the conditions of the duel. So if you are being honorable, you would be out of your armor and no shield, and it would just be you guys and your knives. So your AC would be 12 plus your dex modifier. So what is that?
12.
All right.
But I also have a pipe.
You do. You do. Yeah. So essentially, here I need to check the duel rules just to make sure that I'm handling this the right way.
Of course, of course. Because boy howdy, will this pipe perhaps be a thing I need? I don't even intend to
The
win this fight. I
old
just think it'd be
the
fun.
old location of this book is the same location as like my wife's weed, and it's like killing me to smell it. Anyway, let me see.
Condolences. Perhaps we'll come to some kind of logical sense someday.
Let's see. Okay, we are handling this correctly. Okay. So, gonna write down a little bit of stuff. Okay. So, now is the time that we roll our initiative. which is a d6 plus your dex mod.
1 moment. You said it was the first blood?
First wound, yeah. Just so you have like full disclosure about how this works. You guys are doing non-lethal, like non-real damage to each other until you reach 0 HP, and then any blow after that is a wound. And dueling wounds are specific in that you can be like, I want to take his eye, or like, I want to disable his arm, or like, I want to draw a unicorn on his leg, kind of thing. So you guys are going to have a normal fight, and then once you're at 0, the next move is a wound. And any points of damage beyond 0 are a wound. So it's like a full fight, but instead of dying, you're getting a permanent disfigurement. Aw, thanks, Silent Cry.
Very interesting, very interesting. Okay, what's the initiative roll again?
You roll a d6 and you add your dexterity modifier.
Okay. I got 2.
You got 2. All right. So that means he goes first. So you guys square off. You're at about 20 feet apart from each other. And he just like rushes at you with his knife, and he takes a wild swing at you. And I remember your AC was 12, and he just like chops the air, just completely misses, and he's like totally open. His head and his chest are right at you, so it's your turn now.
Oh boy.
That was all he got.
Shit. Well, shit. I forget what was its roll to hit again?
You roll a d20, and then you have a melee attack bonus in like the center of your page.
Right. 1 moment. Okay, I lost my 20. I'll generate a 20.
Okay.
I rolled a 15 plus my 2 hit is plus 2, so 17.
17? That is a hit. Give me some damage.
What's the D4, is it?
Yeah.
1 damage.
1? Alright. So you take a swipe at him, and you barely nick his shoulder. Barely. And he's going to put both hands on his knife, and he's gonna like try and stick it between your ribs at this point. Ooh.
Oh dear.
Ooh. That is a hit. And I need you to roll a save versus poison.
A save versus poison. Oh,
Correct.
Oh, I make it with a 2.
You made it?
Yeah.
Wow. All right. Lucky you. Yeah, that was a close one.
Shithead, I don't use poison.
So yeah, now it's your turn.
And as I reel back, I say, I feel the unpleasant chemicals there, doom to you. And I'm going to puff on my pipe and create a smoky cloud.
It just like emerges from the top of the pipe, and this thick, heavy fog does not like float away. It just fills the area with green smoke, and it is a very heavily obscured area.
And
neither of you can see.
When he might observe that I might try to, move around stealthily, I'm simply going to, like, jump off something nearby and diving charge him.
Sure, you can do that next turn.
Of course.
So he's going to swipe, but here's the thing. He doesn't know where the fuck you are.
Right.
He doesn't know where the fuck you are. So if I roll a nat 20, you'll get hit.
Okay, fair.
And he did not, so he misses. I don't think an attempt is possible in heavy obscurement. I don't think there's specific rules about this in LOTFP, but I'm just rolling with it. So
I mean, yeah. I mean, if he's coming at me, I don't really need to try to gain height advantage of him. I'm just gonna duck around to swing, and I'm going to swing myself. And I rolled a natural 1.
A natural 1, Jesus Christ. You tried to get a height advantage, but completely like missed your footing, and you're just on equal footing with him. And he's just going to run out of the range of the smoke and just like be looking at the smoke. Mechanically, this is like a prepared action for him, just waiting for you to emerge.
Roger.
Now it's your turn.
As my prepared action, I'm going to pick up and throw a fucking bar stool at him where I heard him run.
Sure. Go ahead and roll your die and hope for a nat 20.
18.
18's so close. Close but no cigar. That's
Yeah.
a miss in your duel.
But then I'm going to like follow that up with coming out of the smoke at him, so he
Nice.
can strike at me if he wishes. I'll give him that opportunity.
And he will. Oh gosh, that's a hit. So you are going to take 3 damage. So you have taken 4 damage in this fight.
Roger. I'm
He goes for your collarbone and tries to get like a follow-up stab, but he misses with the stab. It's just like
ooh, so that's 4 damage so far?
you have taken 4 total.
Alright, 5 more to go before I'm at 0. Alright,
Right.
yeah, I'm going to come at him the same way I have been, and I'm going to come at him with the blade, and I'm going to add 2 to hit with my bless. 12. I hit his AC, I believe.
That is a hit. Go ahead and roll some damage.
Alright. I rolled a 10 there. That was just what I needed. That's 2 damage.
2 damage. All right. Sure. Where do you want to stick him? It's nothing mortal.
Sure, I just want to like come out of the smoke and like slash at his face and carve one across his cheek.
Sure. You got him on the cheek. It's gonna take some time to heal that one. He ducks down and he is gonna go for your ankle with his knife. And he hits. He actually hits with that. Wow, surprising. Damn, you take 4 damage.
Ooh, I'm down to 1. That really just opens up my Achilles. I stagger back, and as I'm doing so, I say, "Ah, you fucking bastard! Do you think you have a piece of me? Yeah." Wah! And I hit with 16.
Damn. All right, roll some damage.
2 damage.
All right. He's looking pretty bad, but it's nothing like permanently disfiguring. What kind of wound are you thinking?
As I go for the face again, he dodges back, and I just kind of cut across his chest.
All right.
Through his whatever shirt he's wearing.
And he just like flips his knife over, like pulls it back to like aim at your head, and surprises you with another knife from his hip and throws it underhand. Fuck, that's a 15.
Ooh.
So if he takes you over 0, then this is your wound.
All right.
He's going to take your ear, your left ear. He did not. He took you 2-0.
Oh, wow.
He took you 2-0. So the next one is gonna do it.
Oh, wow. Okay, well, that's my swing back then.
Yep. And he's still holding his knife up here, but he flung one from his hip.
All right, and I swing and I hit with a 12.
Damn! Alright, let's do it.
As he swings and hits me like that, it cuts my ear, and I, like, grab it out of the air from behind me and fling it back.
Yes, it, I think it, like, stuck in his leg, but he's able to just, like, get it out at, like, the cost of no action. Just like,
For sure. I do 1 damage.
1? Fuck.
Yes. A mere prick.
You guys are both bloodied, you're beaten, you're tired. It does not look good for either of you. And he's just kind of like circling around right now. And he goes in for like a fake punch and then like an upward stab with his knife. Basically, just going for that ear again.
Right.
Fuck me. Dude, I have only rolled awesome with this. 16.
That's a hit, alright.
I think this takes it. Yeah, 3 damage.
Yeah, that'll do it.
And he like hooks it around your ear and slices like the bottom half to like the upper corner off. So there's just a shred of ear left and a hole. And it falls to the ground with a wet splatter onto the sand. And he scoops it up and he like shouts into your ear, "Now are you fucking listening?" and flicks it at you.
I grab it out of the air and I chuckle and I slowly stand up and I say, "Rondo, it is that I fear that I need you to hear. Please, I beg of you, restore my ear." And I cast Cure Light Wounds on myself while I hold the ear against its severed part and hopefully reattach it.
Damn. Okay, so I'm pretty sure that there's a spell in Lamentations that will restore lost limbs, and I'm pretty sure that's not it.
Oh, really?
Let me check. Because I don't want to talk out my ass. I'm pretty sure there's one for like restoring limbs and stuff.
Let's see what Cure says.
Because I know that Cure Light Wounds can like restore like blindness, for example. But let's see. Let's see. We just need to look at the cleric spells. It might be Cure Critical Wounds. That might be what it's called.
Well, I mean, it doesn't really. Here's critical wounds. 1 sec. All of them talking about temporary negative modifiers. And restoring to their normal maximum hit points.
Shit, fuck. I don't think it'll work. I think you're just disfigured.
Well,
there has to be some way. There has to be some way to restore a limb. It might be heal. I just want to see what your options are. You might just be Death or the One-Eared Cleric.
That's fine.
Shit. You might be fucked.
Worse things have happened.
I think you're fucked. I'm just gonna do one Google search just to make sure.
Okay.
I think you're fucked. I think you have no ear. From what I could find, no ear.
Well, that's fine.
Damn. Yeah, and just to clarify, it was your left ear, and because I know Drew has just rejoined us, Death or Action Brand got involved in a duel with a seedy dwarf who tried to invite you guys to underground betting, where you guys can bet on the emu races, but there are no limits on how much you can bet, and there's a 50 silver buy-in for it, and there was a misunderstanding that turned into a duel that turned into a wound specified as removing Death or Action Brand's ear, his left ear.
Dang.
Yep.
Yeah, pretty brutal.
And now I want revenge.
Understandable. Well, shit. The floor is yours.
Alright, well, I have my ears severed, and I would order a drink, slam it, and then go to the hospital.
Do you have the cost of a drink memorized yet?
No.
A cheap one is 3.
I'll slam a cheap drink and go to the hospital.
More expensive one is a 7. And you're going to the infirmary?
Yeah.
All right. Let's get some desert music going again.
I want to bring my ear too.
Fair enough.
And nod in understanding of the person you obviously won. Also, I'm gonna clean it off from the filth of the ground with a bit of holy water that I have on my hand.
Fucking brutal.
It sucks.
Yeah.
But better lose an ear than to be indebted to some dickheads.
Mhm.
True. Losing an ear is pretty bad. So, you're in the infirmary, and there are just cats climbing over patients, climbing onto sterile surgery trays, purring, licking themselves, batting around scalpels, and like picking up equipment and walking away with blood bags and whatnot. The staff seems very used to this. One of the male nurses is like about to like beat a cat, but stops himself because this is deeply illegal.
Mhm.
Deeply illegal to do that. So he's just trying his best to do his job. And one of the nurses is seeing to you, and she's dabbing a poultice on your wounded ear, and asks you what happened to you in like really, really broken common. She said, like, what happened?
I responded in Dwarven that someone tried to bait us into their foolish gambling circles, and I would have nothing of it. And I wouldn't have my honor slighted either, and so here's where we are. And I'm like a little bit half in the bag too, so I'm just like slurring a little bit.
Says, well, for me, I would never, ever interact with a criminal. If I ever got accosted by a criminal, I would just turn the other way and run.
If only it were so easy, but sometimes you need to draw a boundary, and sometimes that boundary has a cost. There's always them that wish to predate upon the community, and them that stand against it have to pay a price sometimes.
Do you have a physical description of this man?
Tis not for me to get involved in the justice system at this point. I'll not be involving myself in giving any names or places or dates or anything. I simply wish to have me treatment and to get on with me day.
She's going to huff, and she's going to bring you a bucket of water so you can drink.
I drink as the wounded do.
It tastes a little soapy, too. It kind of tastes like someone had soap in that bucket before you.
That probably means it's cleaner than any other water I've ever had before.
Correct. Yeah, very correct on that. So, goddamn, you guys have like 45 minutes until you're meeting with King Beanbag. I'm just going to text some of the members of our crew to see if they're like planning on coming, because I know this is like a really big talk.
Roger.
That's the plan.
Unfortunately, I'm gonna have to leave in like 20 minutes.
Dang.
Could save it for next time.
Could.
If you wanted to. And we could do some Zomboid if you wanted to.
Maybe. We'll see.
Or I could be the guy that carries the negotiations with one ear.
Yeah, just one guy representing the whole party. By the way, I don't know where Algazel went. I thought that he was going to be here, but he is not.
Yeah, this week's light on attendance, unfortunately, it seems.
Mm-hmm. Definitely.
But hey.
I think...
Well,
Well,
welcome, Gunny.
what's up? We can't hear you if you're trying to talk.
Is a mystery.
Hello, hello.
Hello.
There you are.
Thought I'd drop by and see what everyone's up to.
Well, I
Oh.
just lost an ear, so what's up?
Yeah.
You lost a what now?
I lost an ear.
An ear?
An ear, yes. To
In
a
a
duel.
duel. Yeah.
With.
With some seedy dwarf that was trying to get them into an underground bidding ring to bet on emu races.
It was a loan shark, and I told him off, and he wanted to fight. And like, I think losing an ear is better than all the gold we could have lost.
It was a
Or
duel.
silver. It was a duel.
I
But yeah,
feel like dwarves have the propensity to be way more seedy than goblins in a way.
I think
in
so
that
too.
They've got a lot
Smart.
more cunning and strength behind them to carry it out, you know?
He also brought poison when Death or Action Brand, our cleric here, did not.
that's true as well.
That's what the search check was for, by the way.
Oh,
Just
yeah,
to let
yeah.
you know. Mm-hmm. You would have seen him apply it.
I see. Well,
He
yeah.
he did it before you got to the fight.
So your ear got cut off and you got poisoned?
He
I resisted
succeeded
the
on his
poison.
save. Yeah.
Ah, right, I see.
Yeah, the poison didn't hurt. It was the ear being taken. It's whatever, really. It's in further service of underscoring why you shouldn't be a piece of shit and why I should work extra hard to make sure the rest of the world aren't pieces of shit.
Got it.
But anyhow, we have a negotiation to establish with the king coming up here, and that's a whole thing.
I've just come off the back of a D&D session. To Mob
Oh, I see.
Annihilation.
Sounds
Yes.
fun. Sounds fun. And determining by the accent is probably late in the eve for you.
It's 10 p.m. right now. Not too bad.
On a Friday.
Not too bad.
I think the US has just changed, gone forwards or backwards, right? And,
I'm super on the
Just went forward.
sunny
Ooh,
West
good
Coast
stuff.
right now.
I mean, politically speaking, we've gone backwards in a lot of ways.
yeah, I don't think summertime kicks in for us until like next week or something. So usually I'm not around when you guys are doing your sessions.
Yeah, this one's a special one. We started extra early. We started 3 hours ago.
Ah.
Yeah, super unusual for the usual.
Yeah, but I mean, I work 4 10-hour shifts, so I have every Friday off. So if we do sessions on a Friday, I could probably do this kind of schedule every Friday. So some of our European friends could join.
Cool.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, at the moment, my D&D sessions are every Friday.
Yeah, I was gonna ask.
As
Dang.
they'll go.
But if mine's ever cancelled, I can always drop in, I suppose.
Sweet. Do you have a character?
Yeah, I mean, I've got a backup character which I could use who's like a dwarven cleric kind of character.
Gotcha. We'll have to make a new character for this system because we're not playing D&D 5e.
Yeah, you could be
Okay.
either dwarf or cleric. It's very much like AD&D in that way.
Yeah. Classic D&D
You're playing
and that style.
Pathfinder?
We're playing
No.
Lamentations of the Flame Princess. It's like a
Oh.
hipster system based on old school D&D. It's based on 2nd edition, otherwise known as AD&D, like Cleveland was saying.
Lamentations of the Flame Princess.
We'd be doing a lot more math if it were Pathfinder.
Very true. Very true.
Oh god, not math.
Yeah, LOTFP is very like roleplay and loot focused. The combat is incredibly brutal. Like if we fought as often in this campaign as we would in a normal 5e campaign, everyone would be dead.
Do you have to pay for the PDFs?
No, it's free. If you're on Google, just type LOTFP rules.
Okay.
Yeah. I have resources to all this stuff on the Discord.
Could I post the link in chat?
Go for it. Yeah, feel free. Correct, Silent Cry, AD&D 2e. I have the Dungeon Master's Guide for that version, which is really awesome because if I'm ever like having writer's block on loot, I can just bust open that book and they're like, boom, wondrous item, boom, magic item, boom, wand, stave, staff, rod, all that stuff. It's really cool stuff. The music does not seem very like Egyptian. What is this?
I'm Egyptian. Oh no, you're not.
Music is not very Egyptian.
So deep cut Space Ghost Coast to Coast reference.
It is a deep cut. Where is my... Okay, there is some Egyptian music. This is like ethereal music. So, we are in an odd scenario because we have like 3 players here right now when we usually have a whole gob of people. It sounds like Crazy Mohawk is going to be joining us in hours. We're going to be losing Tabala here very soon. And we might be getting more later. So here's my idea. I think we just like take a break right now. We take like a hiatus for a couple of hours, and then maybe we start back up at in 2 hours and 45 minutes because that's our normal start time. It's possible that some of the people that wanted to join us today were ready to join at the standard time, but weren't prepared to join us at the new time. I'm thinking that might be the scheduling goof that we're experiencing right now. What are your guys' concerns?
No, that's fine by me. If you want to like do something else, like stream something else, play something together in the meantime, I'd be down for that or whatever.
Like a zomboid co-op who knows what the fuck is going on kind of thing.
Yeah, a zomboid interim, I'd be down for that.
Cool. What about Tabala and Timbuktu? What do you guys think as players?
I'm fine with whatever needs to be done. As I said, I probably shouldn't be involved in negotiations because I've been out of the loop for a while.
No, please be a part of negotiations. Please do.
I don't know necessarily what the goal is right now for this encounter.
The goal is talk to the king and be like, hey, we really want to establish a temporary, or better yet, a permanent lodging here. We want to dig a hole in the ground and we want to make a dwarven fortress, and we want your blessing and your approval to do so. That's the
Making
goal.
coffee, BRB. Oh yeah, we do. Silent Cry's right. We have a shitload of resources. The problem is, I think we sold most of them. Is the problem? We only have one cart full of shit. Anyhow, I'm gonna make up a cup of coffee, BRB.
And
I'd be good with us like pausing for a few hours because I don't know how long my thing is gonna take.
sure thing. Sure thing. I'm totally okay with us resuming in a period of time. Definitely okay with that. I'm gonna call this like session episode 8.1, and then we'll do the next one as 8.2. There we go. And then we'll come back. So I'm going to power off my stream for right now, and we can continue to talk in Discord. So let's go raid someone, because it would be a shame to have all these viewers and not raid someone. Let's see. Let's see. I see Scrap King. I see Scrap King on. We're gonna raid him. We're gonna raid a Dwarf Fortress streamer, and we will be back.
Good old Scrappy Doo.
That's right. Okay, that'll power up in a bit, and we will see you guys in like 3 hours. That will give us good time to have like a creative break, a food break, pee break, whatever type of break we need.
All them breaks. I'm sorry. Scrap King shouldn't be referred to as Scrappy Doo. That's an insult. I'm sorry.
That is Scrappy Dude sucks. Scrap King, good guy. All right, see you guys in a bit.
So long. Alrighty. We're clear. Ah, Scrap King knows what's up.
Yeah, right?
Fucking gotta love Scrap King for keeping on top of the community.
He's really good at Dwarf Fortress like science.
Hell
Like he
yeah.
tested out all the weapons, and he's like, these ones are the most effective, these ones are the least effective, etc., etc.
Yeah, I heard about that. Yeah, for sure.
I'll put a little announcement in Dido, where no one will start up again.
Right on. Oh, Kitty's all over me right now.
Oh.
So do you want to do Zomboid